you? It is so good to be back. It has been, what is with these tough weekends, and Deb? I mean, I'm a nice gal, you know? So anyway, so I was sitting there Friday night. Pardon me, I've got dye on my fingers because I've been doing Pysanky. I was sitting there Friday night. I had my weekend all planned out. Hello, everybody. And I had my weekend all planned out. Whoops, back this way. Getting used to my new fancy arm. But I had my weekend all planned out. I asked Mark if he could help me set up some tables in the garage to do my fabric dyeing. My prepared for dyeing fabric had arrived. I was so excited. Hi, Lady Di. Good to see you again. Hello, Teresa, too. So I was sitting there, and I was so proud. I had just come up from taping my Jenny Beyer, month 5, I believe. Month 4 or 5? I think month 5. And so April, May, June, July, August, month 5. And so I was so proud because I had taped it, and I came up and was ready to spend a wonderful weekend with Mark. And so I was sitting there and I said, you know, I need to probably edit some of these videos off, because when I make y'all a video, I make it a folder and I put all the raw footage in it. And when I was doing the beach landscape, I had probably 25 hours worth of video that I whittled down to 3 or 4 hours. So I had a lot of video. And then I've been keeping all the videos I make in my file, thinking that at some point I would burn them on a CD, right? So Mark said, well, check your status on your computer and see how much space you have left. So I went to see, and then, settings, I forget. But anyway, I did it, and it showed that I had only a little sliver of all my gigabytes. I only had a little sliver left. So this is the mistake. I should have said, I'll continue working on this video, but then when I'm calm and not tired, then I'll delete these files, because I have to go through. I had some folders that had film shot, but not yet edited and put up. And I had folders with ideas of future shows, probably some folders of stuff y'all to this channel. So I had tons of stuff in it. So I had deleted a couple old videos and a couple old folders with, you know, stuff I didn't need anymore. And then Mark went to ask me a question. I looked at him, and I don't know what my hand touched, but when I looked back at the screen, and he noticed later when he looked at my computer, you had a touch keyboard thing on. Did you know that? And I said, no, I don't know how that was on. He said, hon, I think it might have, who knows what it did, because we went right to the recycle bin, nothing. Then we went back to see how many gigabytes were available. Oh, a mess of space was available now, which means they were permanently deleted. So I have spent all yesterday and almost all of today downloading every free recovery software that I could. Mark even went to Norton and found what said was recovery software, which had no recovery stuff on it, so we had to get our money back for that. But finally today I spent $20 and bought this Recover, and I don't know. It ran this morning, but I would say my chances are less than 50-50 of getting anything back, because I don't know where it went, and I don't know. They said that there's like, I don't know if it's partitioned or something, but it's in a weird place that there's one drive they can't access. But you sent some great suggestions to the group and emails. I haven't been keeping backups. Mark didn't really believe in it, and I didn't worry about it. But I'll be keeping backups from now on. So it just means I don't know what I've lost. Maybe it's good not to know. And it means I'm going to have to replenish some of those ideas and information about it, or pictures, like if it's a certain landscape, what kind of pictures would I like? So that's where I am. And I've been really stressed about it because I feel out of control. And it's made me, Mark and I quibble at each other. I mean, it just adds a layer of stress we don't need. But he reminded me last night, or Friday night, it's a first world problem. Luckily, it's not all of the photos of my children over the years. It's stuff I can redo. So, enough of that. But it's been a real pain. Thank you, Susan. You're exactly right. That's what my daughter told me. She said, Mom, we keep an external drive so that the important stuff goes on that. I totally agree. And Mark thinks he has one. So thank you, Susan. Y'all are so good. And you know what? Collective wisdom is the best wisdom, because we all have run across different things in our life, and I've never had something like this happen to me, and it was horribly shocking. So I'm trying to let go. That's hard for me. That's hard for a Deb. And I'm just it's okay. And it doesn't change the price of oil. And I'll just, we'll deal with it. So, yes, the good news is the videos I actually made are on the YouTube channel. So thank you. You're right. That part is great. The ones where I had shot everything for a video of what is it like and what do you do to enter a quilt in a quilt show. But I hadn't edited it yet. That's gone. So I had certain photos at the quilt show. I was going to show you what to expect, and I don't know if I'll be able to get some of that back. But, we'll manage. So, yeah, just lost the ones. So luckily, YouTube has them. And I found that even though I'm easygoing in a lot of ways, I do have a certain amount of need to control. Yes, I do. So anyway, I've got a bunch of great stuff to do with you today. Hold on. Okay. I think, hold on just a second. Let me find it. Whoa. All right. I've been so proud telling y'all that I was not spending some money. Oh, where is my schedule? Oh, well, I can manage. I will remember. I did something with it. Oh, I put the schedule of today's things where it belonged on my special board. And because I did what I was supposed to do, then I thought I lost it. So, okay. Here we go. But last night, today's show was going to be all dying fast. Well, I'm getting yesterday. So, and I'm hoping this week. So, but schedule's starting to fill up. So I can't afford to run behind like this. I need more space here. All right. So the first thing, pardon me, I've got the hiccups now. And, but I've got my list. I've got hiccups. We heard a doctor say No, I know what it was. Dr. Poles said when an animal was hiccuping, well, their heart's growing. Well, what does that mean for me? So Jamie from Jamie's Crafty World is here. Oh, we have missed you, girlfriend. Charlotte's here too. Charlotte's going to come over next week, so that'll be fun. She won't be here for a video. Charlotte, hello, sweetie. So hello to everyone. Let me just run back through here. Charlotte, were you the first one here today? Woohoo! And Susan and Teresa, Vicky Lemire, hello, Vicky. Sonia's here. And Teresa, oh, I'm so excited. Well, today, and Lady Di's back, today we've got a lot of things to show you. I ended up buying the prepared for dyeing fabric, because I'm going to do my big summer dyeing. And I'm going to do all these different ways. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. And then Connecting Threads had a sale recently, and they had fabric as low as $2.40 a yard. And so I went looking for backing fabric, because when I did my big closet cleanup, I could see what colors I didn't have in the backing, and it concerned me. So I talked to Mark about it, and I said I need to get it, but it's such a good price, and I don't mind piecing my backing. So it's 44 wide. You put two links together, and then you've got almost 90, and almost 90 inches wide. That does it for me. So, and then think about that. If you can buy not inexpensive fabric, but fabric that's on a really good sale, you put pieces together to have 88 inches or 87 inches, but by the time you have to take off 86 inches, by the time you take off the selvages, and the word is selvage. I hear so many people calling it salvage, my little pet peeve. But anyway, so you put two of those widths together, you're still only spending $5 at the most a yard for backing fabric. So, that's not a bad thing. So I do look for things like that. And I like to keep generic fabrics of colors I know that I use that will go with the quilt tops I make. I like keeping that in the closet, because otherwise you're going to a fabric store and I can't afford to pay $12 a yard for backing fabric. So you know how that is. So I spent a little money to save money this week. So also I've been doing some Pysanky. This is what's over here on the nail board. See this? This is not some magical thing that you lay on to prove that you have higher psychic powers. This is a board if you want to do Pysanky. I've got to learn to pronounce it correctly. This holds your Pysanky eggs as you're dyeing them, and then as you put the polyurethane on them. So last night, we were watching West Side Story, and West Side Story the whole way through. I'd only seen little snippets. And so I thought, I don't have all this dyed fabric to show the ladies. What am I going to talk about today? And I thought, Pysanky. And whoops, I just realized my dye spilled on my desk. Hold on, ladies. Oh, I tell you, I overfilled the little dye cup. And luckily, this is an old school desk with a melamine, or what do you call it, Formica top. So it's not a problem. It's just I get it all over me. All right. So the first thing, maybe we'll do the Pysanky first so I can get all this dye out from under me, because it's going to be a mess. So I'm going to go about it a little different, because I'm going to talk to you about the Jenny buyer this month. I'm going to show you all the fabric I bought and tell you how much I paid, because I've got a really good thing to tell you about the prepared for dyeing fabric. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm going to go back and be a judge at this quilt show I do, the 3rd year in a row. And that Pineapple Fabric sale's coming up this week, and they've got a special treat for us this week. And then I'll talk to you about what it takes to put, what you should look for to put a quilt in a quilt show. And hold on. There was one other thing I was just thinking about, but it just skipped my mind. So I'm going to turn the camera down here, take an egg out of the dye bath, and then start showing you what I've done. You ready? Everybody okay? Anybody need anything before I do this? And I'm having a little hard time seeing this screen today because I have all this egg stuff. But this is Pysanky. It is a Ukrainian art form of dyeing chicken eggs, or goose eggs are really the favored egg to use because they're a really good size. Some people absolutely love duck eggs. Duck eggs, I have found, have a pretty resilient shell and less fragile. And so duck eggs are probably really pretty tough to deal with. Now, here is an egg that I've had in the Pysanky dye. And this was from Surma, I believe, Surma dye company. And I ordered these way back 20 years ago, believe it or not. So I'm going to carefully cover my dye and now get it out of the way, because this is the black dye and I don't want to get this on my outfit. I doubt it would come out. So now carefully, some of these are extremely full. But I keep these dyes and use them when I keep them in a special cabinet and then use them as I have an egg ready to go. So let me wipe off, pardon me a second, guys. Let me wipe off this cabinet. Oh no, this dye went a lot of places. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I'll keep it off me. What happened is it kind of slopped a little bit, and when it did, it went into the bottom of the cardboard box and then leaked out through the cardboard box. So, all right. Now, let me come back up just a little. I love this new arm. And thank you, Diana, for telling me that you appreciated the new camera views. And my new videos coming up should be very exciting as I get to get comfortable with the camera, what it can do. Not bad for $16. Also, I know what I was going to tell you. Don't go anywhere because we have lots of photos. So I have been enjoying it, getting all the photos we've been getting. And I hope that you've been enjoying our Sunday photo time too, because I feel like it's a way for you to really be here and us to sit down and chat. Okay. Oh, I was running behind, honey. Hold on. And okay, let's see. Okay. I'll show you everything about it. And you won't believe this because it's kind of connected to quilting in a funny way. Besides the fact that I love using quilting patterns on the egg, I have found the best pencil to put the pattern on the egg is my Jenny Beyer. What do you call these pencils when there's a name, when you push it and the lead moves farther, lead pencil? One of these little lead pencils. And so these work wonderfully. So the first thing I do is I take a fresh egg that's room temperature, and I take this pencil, and you can do things like, let me show you. Let me find my tape measure. Okay. You can take, some people use a piece of elastic. Some people use tape measures. I just eyeball it now. I've been quilting for so long that my eye is pretty good at dividing things in half or whatever. But you can use a tape measure and draw around. Give yourself some mechanical pencil. Thank you, ladies. Exactly. Both my moderators are so smart. But you can take elastic and run around and use that as a marker, or just do it by freehand. And but you take your mechanical pencil and you draw your pattern on. Okay? Draw your patterns. That's first thing. Now, hold on just a second. I'll show you the next step. And I've got to light a candle, ladies. All right. I was doing this last night while I was sitting on the couch with Mark. And he was like, I had a lap board. I had a board on my lap. And he said, you feel safe with, sitting there with the that board on your lap and a lit candle? And I was like, yeah. And so I've got my little candle. See my candle flame here? And I heat up. This is called a kitska. And if you look, it's got a little reservoir. And then it's got a little tip. And the little tip is what you use to write on the egg. And so I heat the kitska up in my flame, get it nice and hot. And then I have pure beeswax. And it's a good thing when you get some of the soot from the kitska onto the beeswax, because it helps. See how it kind of melts that beeswax right up inside. And then you hold it on the flame. Okay. Get it nice and warm. Let me bring my camera closer. You get it warm. Now I've learned, take and brush the tip of your kitska on a napkin so it doesn't blurp onto your egg. So now you just take this kitska and you take that wax, beeswax that's been mixed now with a little bit of the soot, and you just take and outline all the things you've drawn like this. So are you able to see? So you just have to heat up your kitska and then come up here and draw it along here. Everything you cover with wax will stay white no matter what dye you put it in. And I'm just do a little circle here where these dots are. And it's better if I rest my hand so my hand won't tremble so much. But you just take and you put the wax where you have drawn the lines. Now let's say you have an area like this and you want that whole circle to stay white. This is my thicker, or what's called a large kitska, and I take and fill in that whole circle with wax. Last night on the egg I noticed I have to get better at really filling it in because I left little lines. I thought I had wax, but I didn't. So it's not how thick the wax is, it's just making sure that every part got touched. So this is what you do. First you draw your pattern on, then you take this kitska and you keep it warm over the flame. You warm it up, and then you come in here. Whoops, don't forget, give it a little dab off on a paper towel, because otherwise you might have a big blob of wax that all of a sudden comes out at once. But do you see how you do? So everything you cover with this wax will stay white. So now while I have this candle lit, I'm going to show you an egg I took out of the black dye this morning. And this is the fun part. It's called the reveal. And what you do, let me get my kits go away from here a bit. What you do is you hold the egg right beside the flame. I'm hoping you can see this good. You hold it, you don't hold it over it, you hold it beside the flame, and then you can watch that beeswax start to melt. Now, one lady said that she takes and puts, you see what's happening? She takes and puts olive oil over the egg too, like rubs olive oil on. And I think what that does is it helps her get the wax off easier and faster. Look what happens. So this is the exciting part of doing Pysanky, is the reveal, because it's kind of hidden at first. So then I take and rub that off. And so here's what I've just rubbed off. Here's what I did earlier. And in fact, you can see I wrote my name and the year. But you notice where I've got to do a better job of filling everything in. I thought at first maybe it was because I used paraffin, but I used real beeswax this time. Now here is another interesting egg. This is a 3-dye egg. Now watch this. This is going to be a really cool reveal. And you use nice soft tissue to wipe it off so that you don't scrub too much of any dye and stuff off. You just want to take off the wax. And then when I'm all done with this, I will then put polyurethane on it. But isn't this fun when it starts to be revealed? I love this part. Mark said, we need you some other kind of flame, because it does use up a lot of candles. But I love the tradition of it all. Okay, let me do this over here, because this is pretty exciting. But you don't want to get the soot on the egg. The soot will discolor the egg. That's why you put, oh, look at this. Isn't that cool how that comes out? But you don't want the soot on the egg. You just want to melt the wax. And you're only heating up the shell. You're not cooking the inside. Don't worry. I'm going to do this whole half and then show you so you'll see. And I did the same design on both halves so it'll be alike. And I just want to tell Susan and Nikki that I'm going to do a purple egg. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. But I'm going to try, believe it or not, Susan and Nikki, I'm going to try to do tumbling blocks of different shades of this violet. So I will get to that, I promise. It's kind of mesmerizing, I tell you. Okay, almost there. I just want to finish up a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the fabrics I got this week and the photos. All right. So as I do this more and more, I'll get better with my kitskas, because I honestly realize I since then, but I've got no evidence. Everything I had in my Pysanky box and the receipt was from 1999. So it's going to take me a while to get back into it. I'm going to show you too what I bought to go with it. And it was a 1-pound block of beeswax. And I looked on Walmart.com and I could have it delivered to the store. And I was so excited, because when you buy a little beeswax from a sewing store, it's a few dollars for 1 ounce. I got a whole pound of pure refined beeswax for $9.99 or something like that. And I had it sent to the Walmart to save on shipping. And we went and picked it up. And so Mark said he went to the desk yesterday, and they always open the box and they look at what's in the box, and you look and agree that's what you ordered. And they said, can we ask you, what are you going to do with all that beeswax? So he explained Pysanky to the ladies at the Walmart. And they were fascinated. Because, you know, what do you do with all that beeswax? So, okay, I have it. I now have it done. Hold on. I'll show you. And this is for us applicators. But this is a flower design with a leaf and an upside down flower. So I think this is a sweet egg too. And I like the fact that it's done with the 3 colors. So as I say, it's a little sloppy. You can see where I have some infiltration in areas I shouldn't. It's not as clean and sharp as it should be, but I will get better. Charlotte, if you want to try any of this when you're here, you'll have to let me know. So anyway, so I've got this one and I've got this one now. And egg prices are down. So it's a good time to try it. All right. Whew, that was hot. But see, then what you do is you take and put your eggs here to rest on this board. And especially when you go to polyurethane them. But the 3 nails works really good. All right, I think, let me put this stuff aside so I can come back and talk to you. But these mechanical pencils, especially this fine Jenny Beyer one, did the best job of writing on the pencil. You don't want it to be a thick line or a dark line because you don't want it rubbing off on your hands. So now let me come back up here. But Charlotte, I can't wait for you to see what Grandpa invented for me. You know Grandpa, he's known as the fixer Grandpa. He can fix anything. So, okay. I don't know. Okay. So, let me put this up. Writing on the egg, exactly. That's what it's called. It's called, when you're a Pysanky artist, you're called an egg writer. Okay, to do Pysanky, good question, Susan. You take your eggs, you can buy them from the store. Some people say, oh, you have to have them from a breeder so they don't put stuff on them from the store. No, that's a little too prissy. What you do, you come home with your eggs from the store, you wash them in warm soapy water, then you add a little vinegar to the bowl of water you've got the eggs in. The vinegar will cut through any bloom that the chicken puts on them when she's laying them, or any light coating of wax that some egg hatcheries put on them to extend their shelf life. So, and then once you wash them with just a little bit of soapy water and little vinegar in the water, then you take them and put them on a clean towel to dry. The eggs must come to room temperature, and then you draw on them and you start your Pysanky. And you can look online to find kitskas. They're not expensive. And, oh, I know what I want to show you, my beeswax. Look at this, ladies. This is the beeswax. And this will last me the rest of my life and half of Charlotte's life. So, but it's beautiful, refined beeswax so that it's absorbed into the eggshell. And this was $10. Can't beat it. It'll last me the rest of my time. The only thing that costs money, I think, is the candles that you use, and I'm just going to try to find some really inexpensive candles. Or I told Mark if I stick with it, I'll start to buy electric kitskas. And that way I know how you do it. Then what some people do, if they have the electric kitskas, how do you get the wax off the egg? They take and put them on a board like that with the nails and put them in a low temperature oven, and the wax just melts right off. So, and this book is wonderful. I'm getting so many ideas and patterns. In fact, I'll show you that one flower one. I got the idea from this page, but I forgot to put wax over the petals. I just outlined them. So mine are blue petals. So it's not a mistake. It's a design change. So anyway, all right. So we talked about that. The yolks right now are still raw. The whole egg is raw inside. Some people empty them out first. Some people empty them out later. And what I'm going to do is I don't like blowing them. I don't like putting my mouth on them and blowing them. It hurts my jaw. So what I'm going to do is get one of, bellows kind of style where you just, push it in there. And also I want to get an egg blower that only uses one hole. So I think that's nicer. So anyway, but that's what my plans are. I just have to do it sometime in the next couple weeks. And I haven't found my egg blower, so I've got to better get busy looking for one. So, oh, that's neat. But you blow them out, then you use the same bellows type thing and squirt in some bleach water or soapy water to clean them out. Now, some people never blow them out. And they said, they might get a little fragrant for a while, but then after time, I don't want to try that. Teresa, it was so good to see you, sweetheart. Oh, Charlotte, you're so funny. I love your artistic choice. That's exactly it. Oh, yeah, these tomatoes are just not going very, very good. So, okay, now let's see. So Charlotte and Evan are coming over next week, and I told them I'll take you to the grocery store to pick out some favorite goodies there that you want. Then I'm going to take them to a craft store and tell them find a craft to do, because that's what I'm the nana of. I'm the nana of paint, cut, make a mess. So, in fact, I'll have to go to Jamie's Crafty World site and see if she's got any good hints. For this week, I'm going to be doing some dyeing. I'm going to do shaving cream dyeing. I'm sorry. Robin from RLS Crafts' husband passed away. I'm sorry about that. Oh, a one-hole egg blower for $10.97. Yay, I think that's my price. Thank you, Miss Susan. So anyway, I told Charlotte I think we should make her a dress with, actually I told her a quilt, but I think we should make her a dress using frozen fabric. Charlotte, wouldn't you like to go to your first day of school at high school wearing a frozen dress? I tease Charlotte about this all the time. And Charlotte, what did you really do? I bought her a fat quarter of frozen fabric. Charlotte, tell them what you did with that fat quarter of frozen fabric I bought you. I think it's hilarious. Oh, I'll talk about this in a minute. She threw it away. When I found out that she cannot stand frozen, that was too funny. Is Robin on here? No, Robin's not on here. But that's sorry. Okay, so this week I'm prepared. And normally I love Hancock's of Paducah, and I went on there to find some prepared for dye fabric, but it said something funny. Reorder 3/15/19. I thought, well, that was months ago. So I put my order in. Turned out they didn't have it in stock. It was going to be a while. Well, I canceled that order so fast. Now, I've been looking everywhere, and I even looked on Dharma Trading because I love Dharma Trading. They have such good prices on all your dyeing supplies that you'll need. The problem is the shipping was $12.95. Well, Deb, I am too cheap to pay $12.95 shipping. So I typed on again. I had been typing several times on the search engine looking for prepared for dyeing fabric, preferably Kona bleached white, because I've used it before and I know it's a quality fabric. So up pops a new name on the search engine, and it's my good old friends from fabric.com. Yay, fabric.com. they beat everyone's price on prepared for dye fabric. So Mark started to move this out of the room today before he went on his motorcycle ride. He thought, oh, let me get this closed basket of wet fabric out of her way. And I said, no, my ladies need to see that. So, and I'm hoping my egg dyeing won't get on here. Here is this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is the 44-inch wide Kona bleached white prepared for dyeing. And I went ahead and washed it anyway, just in case. Supposedly it doesn't have all of the chemicals they put on fabric to make them lay pretty, and all of that, sizing and all that kind of stuff. But then they also had some Kona bleached white. Now, the regular Kona said it was lightweight. Well, this one was the same price as the 45-inch wide, but it was 57 inches wide. Well, you know, Deb, I'm thinking, 57, baby, you get 13 extra inches wide by the yard. But then I noticed it said very lightweight. I thought, uh-oh, be careful, Deb. So what I ended up doing, and here is this, and it is lighter weight. It truly is. But most of the time, it doesn't make, it's not that much difference in being lighter weight. And so what I did is I was going to buy 10 yards. I bought 5 yards of the 57-inch wide and 5 yards of the 44. That way, I'll probably do my batik painting on the slightly heavier fabric, and then a gallon bucket with a cup of soda ash and water. And the soda ash, you can buy it from any dye place. You can even get it from a pool company because they sell it to help neutralize pH. And so I'll put it in a bucket of soda ash. The soda ash lasts indefinitely. And I'll stick it in a bucket of soda ash and then take it out, wring it out, put it in a plastic bag, get it right before I dye it. So I was so happy. I got this fabric for let's say $5.50. It was either $5.40 something or $5.60. So we'll split the difference and say $4.50. I mean $5.50. I was so happy. That was wonderful. Everywhere else, it was $6.69 and above. So I was very happy. Now, while I was there, you know, Deb, I mean, if I'm going to have to pay a little bit for shipping. Oh, and you ready for this? I ordered this just after lunch on Tuesday. It was here Thursday. I love fabric.com. Yay, fabric.com. Love you. So, 2 days, and you can't beat that. So, I saw a couple months ago in Hancock Fabrics, they still got it too. It was like Paris fabric with like handwriting and like a little postage stamp, a kind of pale beige fabric for $4.99. And I really wanted it. And it's been in my cart for a gob of time. But I kept saying, I only want to buy 2 yards, and it's not fair to do the shipping, for 2 yards. Well, since I already had to pay shipping to get the dye fabric in, I said, Mark, I needed it. It's not the same. It's not quite as pretty, but it was $5.99 on sale, $1 more a yard, but I didn't have to pay any shipping. And I have always wanted to make a quilt with the background fabric, a script fabric. So while I was there, you might as well. So I went ahead and got that. Are y'all okay? I'm seeing signs about buffering. I was telling Mark, in fact, I was watching last week's show, and honest to goodness, it was fuzzy. So I think it's the heat. In fact, Mark told me that in Dallas, it's over 100 degrees and the heat index is going to be like 112. Terrible. The other thing I looked around on fabric.com. I go to the sale fabrics and then mark what's the cheapest price first. I figured why go through all that and be tempted when we had all kinds of apparel tulle. And this means it is just, it's finer and doesn't have slubs or any defects. This was $1.17 a yard. I got 4 yards. And why did I buy 4 yards of medium or neutral gray tulle? Because I have white tulle for my landscapes. For the dark colors, it's good to get a good gray, medium gray tulle. And that way, if you're doing a small piece collage, you can lay the tulle over it. You quilt the tulle, it holds the fabric down, and good. So I got this for $4 and some cents. Thank you, fabric.com. And believe it or not, I will send them a thank you email. I always do, because you know what? If you get good service from a business, tell them, let them know, because they only hear the complaints normally. And I want them to know I value them. All right. So how is everybody? No refresh? Man, I'm sorry. In fact, is Nadine even here? And I don't see Bonnie. Is my Bonnie here? Okay. No, Nadine is not here. Okay. All right. Now let me get you. I haven't even unpacked this. All I did was just open the top to see what. But my connecting threads got here. They sent me an email, which I thought was really sweet, and said, sorry, our last sale was so huge. We've been inundated with orders, and we'll offer you free shipping on your next order to show you our appreciation for being patient. So I'll take free shipping from them. Let me get this out. Still having a little trouble with my left shoulder. And people who are on the Yahoo site knows that I fell last week and it hurt. Okay, hold on. All right. Oh, yay. I didn't just throw that over there like, who do I think I am, Eleanor Burns? I love these. I love pounce pads, and especially when I'm doing quilting on my long arm quilter. These are the coolest material. They're a stencil, but they're soft, and everywhere that there's a white line, it goes through and marks it. Because I have to mark this. I'm no good at this stuff. I'm not like Diana Wright, okay? I have to have every bit of help I can get. So this was on, I had it in basket for gobs and gobs of time. All right, here we go. Let's back up the camera as far as it'll go. And I'll start showing you what I got. You mean that corner where I threw the box? Honey, I don't show you all my secrets. I sit here and see, okay, what shows in the camera? Okay, run around, clean that part up. All right, good enough. One thing I love about doing this live stream every week is it makes me be a neater, tidier person, because I don't want y'all to see how the place looks sometimes. So anyway, at least know before every Sunday I'll get some straightening done. Look at this cutie pie fabric. Isn't this sweet? And you know, I do a lot with turquoise, aqua, whatever you want to call it. And when I buy backing, I rarely use solids. I like to use some kind of pattern so that you don't notice all my crooked quilting lines. So this I bought 4 yards of, because I know that this size quilt, the 4 yards, cut it in half, sew it together, will give me at least 6 feet long by 80 inches wide, 86 inches wide. So now, one thing, I emailed Sue at my favorite local quilt shop, Sewingly Yours, because I knew I had this fabric coming. How am I going to store it? Those little cards, those little comic cards aren't going to work. So I said, Sue, I will bring you a mess of eggs if you could save me any empty bolts. And so I'm going to go in early this week and trade her some eggs for bolts, and then come home and wind all of these on bolts. So let's see. Here is, this was called Tomato, and it's browns and reds for any more earthy tones. Yeah, I thought, I'm not going to tell her I bought cheap fabric from Connecting Threads, but I want her to give me her leftover bolts. I'll just take them lots of eggs. So of this, I bought, I don't know what, this is a trellis. Yeah, trellis white, no. Oh, well, I don't know. But I think I bought 4 of everything except one fabric. So, but this is for any fabrics with reds, browns, whatever. But I looked in my closet first. And now green is something I must make a lot of, or I've just been lately making a lot of green quilts. Yeah, I guess with the grandsons it had green in it. But this is the green. I thought this was a sweet backing. And these are nice. Now, in fact, they do. They feel real. It's got a nice hand, better than I was expecting. Then for fun, young, hip, multicolored quilts, here are, this was called wrapping paper, multicolored wrapping paper. And this way, I can use it for a myriad of color tops. All right. Then my last pack. I do, blue is my favorite color, so I said I do need some more blue. And this is kind of cool. It looks like burlap. And it's more gray than it probably looks on your computer. More gray blue than bright blue, but it's good for a multitude of colors. But I do use a lot of blue. So that's 4 yards of that. And then I know I have at least a quilt that I need to finish for my Katie, but pink is a color I needed. So I got 4 yards of this. And then I got 4 yards of this. So I have backing. Understand, when I buy this 4 yards, I have backing for a 86 by 72 or 72 by 86 quilt for $9.60. Now, ladies, you can't beat that. So think of this when you go to fabric shops to look at colors. Hi, Lisa. Look at your inventory. Uh-oh. If you can't see me or something happens, don't worry. Start again or wait it out. But think about this. I personally don't care that much about the backings on my quilt. If you do, then that's absolutely fine. But for me, it just serves a purpose. And so I keep my backings in commonly used colors. I don't buy a lot of yellow backings or purple backings because it's just not something I use often. So it's like, look at brown backings. I don't use browns much. So I look at what fabric collections do I have? What am I getting ready to work on? What do I have already made waiting? And then I look for the best sale on decent fabric that I can. And you might find it at any number of places, even your local quilt shop. And just know that I rarely make anything bigger than a lap quilt. So that's why I figured 4 yards will do most any quilt. And if I ever make a king size or queen size, I will be buying specific fabric just for that backing. Now, you remember the black backing I showed you last week on my beach landscape quilt? I wish they would put that back, get that back in stock. They've got other colors of the same pattern, but the black sold out fast, and they've never run it again. I guess it's too expensive to run it. But I did see this, and I like this. And this is called trellis. So of this, I bought 8 yards. I bought double of what I buy of other things because this is considered a neutral, and I can use this with a myriad of quilt tops. So, and because, I think you could use it just about anything. I don't know if I'd use it if the quilt top were black, based on black, because it might show through. But I got 8 yards of this. So what that means is for $96, and that includes tax, and it was free shipping because of the size of the order. For $96, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do backing for 8 quilts. I think it's a good idea. And that's if they use the whole part. Normally I do wall hangings, do all kinds of things. I have enough, 16 that way. So anyway, that is today's purchases. So let me put all these. But as you can see, it's not fabric to get excited about, but I think of backing fabric as kind of your everyday clean the house clothes kind of effect. So anyway, but I thought those were pretty good. Oh, now that's great, Diana. That is wonderful. Because as a professional, you want to be one-stop shopping. Sheila! Hi, sweetheart. Yes, I do tend to. You know what? I remember, I was thinking, but it's funny, Sheila said I like intricate designs. Boy, Sheila, you were able to spot me coming, weren't you? But I remember in high school, they were going to teach us how to do batik. They told us to bring in a sheet from home, and I brought in a twin-size sheet. And then they told us to tear it into whatever size and draw a scene on it, and they would teach us how to batik it. Here I am, a dumb little high school kid. I decided, because my great-great-grandmother was Pamunkey Indian near Williamsburg, Virginia, I decided to do an Indian bareback on a pony. And it was filled up the entire sheet. What was I thinking? I managed somehow to finish it. I didn't quite get the perspective. So the Indian was a whole lot bigger than his poor little pony. Pony ended up looking like a donkey. And I don't know where it is. I've lost it somewhere along the way. But when you said that, I thought, yes, I tend to overextend myself. But I remember one time saying, if people who overextend, the good thing is they can end up a little farther along than maybe if they hadn't have overextended. So I'm trying to make that sound right. Sheila, it's so good to see you. I've got a great, now she's a mom and she's a public speaker and she's been on TED Talks. And I think her name is Brene Brown. And I found her on Netflix yesterday. And boy, you sometimes you find somebody who speaks to you right when you need them. But she was really, really good. And she was talking about daring to be brave and courageous. And do that, you have to open yourself up to be vulnerable. And she said, if you dare to be courageous, you will fail. You will have times you fall flat on your face. But you're living your authentic self and you're going for it. And, the things that do work out, how exciting. But I just loved listening to her. So if any of you have Netflix and want to look at her up, Brene Brown, funny, and she has a PhD and studies human interaction, human behavior, and really neat. So I'm going to be judging a quilt show for my third year this year, Stories of the Stitch in Galax, Virginia. And it's a sweet little quilt show that's held at a farm, an antique farm. And yeah, Brene Brown, you found her. Good job. Good job, hon. Oh, well, there you go, Susan. That's cool. She's really a neat lady. And she might say a funny little word here and there, but I love her. So anyway, overachiever. Oh, Diana, you know it. And Diana, sister friend, I think you are a fellow soulmate overachiever too, don't you think? But you know what? It's us, and it's how we live our authentic life. So anyway, but I just thought I'd tip you off to her because I love finding things like that I can watch or listen to while I'm sewing. I'm still having problems with thread breaks and tension problems on my long arm. And part of it, I think, is because I'm frustrated and so much is going on and not going my way. And I'm just going to take a deep breath. I've got my grandson's tummy quilt to do. Got to get that done. So anyway, but the good news is, I saw Sonia and Akko, is I have started this month's Jenny Beyer. And you see what I did, ladies, in the center of my Jenny Beyer? This is the center block, and there's 6 more that go around it in a semicircular fashion. And so if you'll see, the center block is unique. It has a light blue background where the other ones have white. And I mean light blue right up here, all around it. So here is the regular white background, and here is the light blue background. I don't know. I think I saw it somewhere or what, but I saw, there you go, on vulnerability. Boy, are you good, Miss Susan. But, and Miss Susan, have a great day tomorrow, sweetheart. Take a deep breath and use your gratitude skills. That's another thing she was talking about. And they are going to love you. And don't worry about making any mistakes. Your heart shines through, and that's what people value. So I'm very excited for you, sweetheart. I hope that going to the lake was good this week, and have a good day tomorrow. Just know that all of us are going to be cheering you on tomorrow, sweetheart, because we're so excited for you. And then Rick will make sure he's picked something fresh out of the garden for you, because that is an amazing garden. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that I did a different center. I did a different center in my star. And I thought it looks kind of like a blue sapphire. So I loved it. You weren't able to, okay, you'll find another time. So this quilt block I machine pieced. Now, yes, the beginning parts of it I didn't. Those were hand pieced. But when I attach the center, I do it on camera, so I did it by machine. But I'm trying, because I want to stay true, I'm doing the hand piecing. And let me tell you, when you look at this block, does that look scary and complicated? It is so simple. Jenny leads you through every step. And also, I can't wait to show you this. It lays flat. Look at my flat. Look at this. Yay, Deb. I did it. And yes, there are some Y seams. And a Y seam would be like sewing this, because you go up this way and you have to go up that way. And, anytime you're going to bring all of these little pieces together, Jenny does it in such a great way. And I will have this uploaded. Luckily, I didn't lose this video. I just made it Friday. And, but I'm just sitting here doing these by hand, and they're awfully sweet. So I will get this. I just want to get a picture of a couple finished blocks, and then I'll upload the video. But I just tried to do something different. If I don't like it different, it's okay. I'll change it back. And I'm sewing it with just some Coat & Clark's XP black thread. And it works fine. I do almost all my piecing with Coats & Clark. The only time I use a different thread is if I'm doing applique work. And then I use YLI silk threads because they just work like butter. I mean, they're wonderful. But I love good old Coats & Clark's. I wait till Joann Fabrics gets a 50% off coupon. I go in there and I buy my thread. And I buy black, white, and tan, and a bunch of grays. About 3 grays, 4 grays. That's all I buy. That's what I piece with. Black, white, tan, or grays. So, all right. Oh, yeah, Susan, don't stay up too late so you can be relaxed. So, that is that. And I'll talk to you about this week, this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is the pineapple sale fabrics. I told Mark, I'm telling y'all so you keep me honest, I'm only going to buy one piece of fabric. He said, does this mean one piece times the whole bolt? He wanted clarified, what is that one? And I said, I promise I'll buy one piece, 1 to 2 yards maximum. And I'm hoping to get it off the fabric by the pound table. So I said, if I get it off the fabric by the pound, usually they're not over 3 yards. So, 1 yard to 3 yards. And he said, well, I'm just checking. And so I'm only going to buy one fabric because I said, honey, it's not fair to drive all that way and not buy anything. And you know me, I got to film it for my ladies. So they have Alison Glass. Now, I don't know if it's a pre-taped interview with her or if she's going to be there herself. But I think she's going to be speaking at 11 and at 2 on Friday and Saturday. So I can't wait to go. And Alison Glass is a fabric designer. And I've forgotten now what company. I think Timeless Treasures or something. It might even be Andover Fabrics, honestly. But I'm excited to hear Alison Glass speak. And if they allow me, I will video it for you guys too. So, because don't worry, I'm looking out for you. I do sometimes use connecting threads. I have found that my long arm doesn't like it anymore. And sometimes it's a little thick in my needle. But boy, you can't beat the price. So, all right. I'm going to show you. I've got all those photos to show you. Don't go anywhere. If anybody has to leave, maybe I better do the photos first because I love showing y'all photos. All right, and then I'll show you what I've got behind the quilt frame. I think I might have already shown you what's on the quilt frame before, but I couldn't remember. All right, let me turn my camera. Whoops. Hey, watch it. Okay. All right, let me get it. I'll get it right. Okay. All righty. Let's go to, here is our folder. Okay. I decided to put, whoops, hold on. I decided to put Nadine's pictures of Germany on here. And I think it was Wittenberg. And here is from what, 11th, 12th century? Or even before that. I should have looked that up. But here is where he lived and studied and all of that. I just think that's amazing. So this is different parts of Germany where our Nadine lives. Beautiful, beautiful country. And she's a doll baby, isn't she? So, let's see. But what a beautiful country. And then here is our Miss Nadine. Just a beautiful, she is as sweet and kind and nice as she is beautiful. So that's our Nadine. She had vacation last week, so she got to travel. Here is our Miss Diana Wright's current quilt that she's working on, and it's for an electrician. Oh my gosh, ladies, do you see these patterns? How cool is this? I just love it. Love it. I mean, looks just like a circuit board. Looks like, here is alternating current, direct current. I mean, it's just so cool. I think she's brilliant how that she looks at what she can do that will actually fit the personality or the life experience of the quilt recipient. But it's gorgeous. I mean, look at all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Guess who this is? This is my little Russell. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I love this little boy. And I haven't seen him since the first week of May. I miss him terribly. I miss him. But my son sent me this, and thank you, Chris. Let me see. This is my beautiful daughter-in-law, Nikki, who's amazing. She's a violin player and amazing singer and teacher. And then here's little Russell sitting in his seat. This is my son, Christopher. And I love how that little boy is looking at his daddy. He loves his daddy. But isn't that a sweet family time picture? Gosh, I love that. And I told him enjoy this because there's something about that first child. It's so special. And here's my son holding his little boy while he's sleeping. I love both those boys so much. They're my boys. And there's my Christopher holding Russell in the front pack carrier. Gotta love a man that'll carry a baby slung to him. And look at this happy baby. How cute is he? Just turned 4 months old. I guess he's 4 months and a week or a little more than that. 4 months and 2 weeks. So 4.5 months old. What a cutie. This is a quilt. Oh boy, I was afraid I might forget. Hold on, I will find, hold on. Let me find the name of the person who sent this to me. Oh no, I don't see it. Let me see. Hold on. But anyway, Now I have forgot. Okay. Bonnie McCullough of Colorado. Bonnie of Colorado had checked with me about finding a pattern for the Matsuri quilt. And she just sent this to me, and I asked her permission if I could show it on the show. So Bonnie, it is gorgeous. Hon, you really outdid yourself. Beautiful, beautiful work. We couldn't find anything that had the whole entire pattern in it, and she still figured it out and did it. I think she's a very talented lady. Okay. Oh, these, I forgot this was in here. Mark put lights up around my backyard gazebo because he knows it makes me happy to have lights at night. So, oh, that's cute. Oh, my daughter Becky found this quilt, and she found a picture of it on some site. And I thought, oh, that's interesting, but wait a minute. What happened to this block right here? And go down and look. I mean, you want to talk about a sense of humor? How fun is that? I don't know who made this. If you are out there, tell us who you are, because we would love to thank you for such a joyful quilt. So here is, I'm not sure exactly, I wish Nadine was here, but it must be something to do with Martin Luther and the church that he studied in. And I mean, our country's so young compared to Germany. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Can you imagine just walking around in the middle of all that antiquity? It's absolutely gorgeous. One day, if I'm lucky, I'll go to Europe. And evidently, I don't know if this was the building that Martin Luther at one point lived in, but look at these cathedrals and churches. Just look at that. That is just gorgeous. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Look at this. Isn't that amazing, ladies? So, just gorgeous. All right. Now, whoops. Oh, I make it smaller. Before I can continue with the slideshow, I have to have it the right size. Whoops. Look at this door. I mean, is that gorgeous or what? That is definitely a medieval doorway. Just beautiful. Miss Sonia's work. Miss Sonia always finishes her stuff before us, and very dedicated, beautiful seamstress. So I think that's absolutely beautiful, hon. Good work. I love seeing y'all's work. It is so inspiring. Now, she did her box. That is really interesting. I'm trying to decide what pattern she used. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, here's another of a church in Germany, Wittenberg, Germany. Oh, here is a photo of myself and Mark at my son's wedding 2 years ago. And I just thought I would show you. What a handsome couple, wouldn't you say? But I saw this the other day and I said, you know what? The ladies might like to see it. And I made my dress myself. And this, I did all hand embroidery and beading on it. One day I'll have to bring it down and show you. And there's my handsome, handsome Mark. And there's my ex, but we won't talk about that, will we? Okay, here's another picture from Germany. And Wittenberg, and yep, and there's Martin Luther's picture. You know, he was the founder of Lutheranism, and evidently he lived in that building. I don't know when or how long. Look at that gorgeous medieval window. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. And some of Nadine's blocks. I love her spirit. Nadine has a playful, sweet spirit, and it just is evident in her quilting. And I tell you what, she's a relative newcomer to the quilting scene, but she is talented. Here's two more of her blocks. And she has a brilliant quilt future ahead of her. She's a very talented lady. I'm sorry, but these sawtooth stars, that small, beautiful. That's hard to do. And they lay so pretty. This was on the Quilt Show newsletter this morning. And this is a woman this is a scene from Rothenburg, Germany. And I wanted to have it here for Nadine to see. But this woman took this fabric out, a yard of white fabric, took it out and painted it with dyes, and then left it in the sun and put some holly leaves on to kind of do that sun painting where it only develops if sun hits it, so anything that covers it keeps it light. But this woman did such a beautiful job, enlarged it, made it bigger, and just played another church in Germany. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I think that was the last one. So thank you, ladies, for all that you did to show us these. I can't thank you enough. That was absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like it and you're willing to keep sending me pictures of your work, then we will keep doing this. All right. Yay! But thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay. Whoops. All right. Let me get back to y'all. All right. Any questions? 72 2.5-inch squares. Good luck, darling. Whoo! That's a lot of work. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. In fact, when I get really brave, I'll send to the Yahoo group. I'll send you a video of my dance with my son at his wedding. We did one of those, starts off as a slow dance, and then it becomes a retrospective of all of our favorite time periods in music. So we had a lot of fun. So I'll have to show y'all that before too long. Okay. Yeah, that quilt she did was amazing. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please keep sending me photos that you would like for me to put online. And, they can be of your quilt, of your garden, of your grandchildren, anything you have permission to show. We'd love to see it. And while I'm speaking of quilts, I'll show you real quickly. This, I think I've already showed y'all. But I grabbed it. I saw it upstairs, and I grabbed it. And this was a block of the month at a local quilt show. This was a block of the month at a local quilt shop. And so I guess it was a year long. And the fabric I picked for the sashing is a little bright, but I'm going to end up finishing this. It was the first quilt I ever did where the blocks were all solids. And it was a good experience to learn how to, it really helps you tune in on your colors and where you're going to put everything, because it was up to each person. So, you haven't seen it? Okay, good. I didn't want to bore you with it. But one of the things that caught my eye about it is these remind me of the electric panels and circuit board. I thought, this kind of goes with it. I'll use that. So anyway, that's this week's quilt. And it wasn't big or fancy. It wasn't tough. It was just fun. The Hanging Man block. Oh. Okay, so Susan wants me to show you. I'll put on our Yahoo group. Another reason to come join our Yahoo group. And I will put the private video. I'll list the private video of my son and I dancing. What I love the most about it because it was tough, let me tell you. And I mean, it was 4 minutes of, boy, everything from the twist all the way up to everything. And Mark was like, when I told him what I wanted to do, he's like, oh, I don't think you should do that. I've got a hair on my lip. Can't reach it. And he said, oh, I don't know if you want to do that. And I said, I think I do. And so we couldn't even practice together. I did a little video of what I thought we wanted to do and sent it to him, and then he practiced it. He did all of the music and editing the music together so it would break just at the right point and all that. The audience participation and appreciation was unbelievable. It made it such a blast into my seat. But we did it, and I'm so glad we did. Anyway, all right, I will post it in our Yahoo group because I've been thinking about it. It's like, should I post that? So, all right, I think we have talked about just everything. Little things when I go to Judge's Quilt Show. Luckily, it's a sweet little quilt show. I'm not an accredited judge, but I've been doing this long enough. At some point, osmosis, you take in enough information. And I'm tickled they ask me. And my price is right. I'm free. But it's a lovely day to get out in the mountains and enjoy pretty scenery. So that's coming up. And it's just things that you would imagine what I look for. Number one, you look, what is the impact of that quilt that you're looking at? Bye, Patricia Fry. Good luck on your room, honey. You're doing great. You're doing great. And then how are your points? How do the blocks line up? Is it straight and square? Does it lay flat and not look tortured? There's all these little things. Use of color, use of design. I hate judging kits, and I hate judging panels. I can't judge those as high as someone who does the quilt, buys their own fabric, puts their fabric colors together, all of that themselves. So, people have to understand that, and then how does the quilting affect the quilt? Does it add to it? Does it improve the quilt, or does it distract? And then you look at the quality of the quilting. But mainly you just want everything square, all your points showing best you can. It's subjective, number one. But number two, what you're having to do, it's not that I appreciate everyone. In fact, I make sure to take little cards that I put on every quilt, telling them all the things I enjoyed about their quilt. That's important. But when you have to judge it down to one winner in 3 or 5 categories, pretty much what you're doing is looking for mistakes that will push somebody out. And the one with the less mistakes wins. But it's also, too, the overall impact, having a place for the eye to rest. Some quilts, I've had quilts where it's a busy pattern, and every fabric has a pattern to it, a print. Those are a little exhausting for the eye. So, and then the last thing you do is you look at the binding. Is the binding straight and square? Is it mitered? Are the mitered corners stitched down? And is it full? Is there an area where there wasn't enough batting and edge of quilt to fill it? It's just kind of limp, or was it plump and full? So it's just kind of things like that. And then a little bit of your gut. Your eye usually says, ooh. Like there was one quilt, everybody would walk by, they knew I was a judge, and oh, I love that red and white one. I love that red and white one. And it was gorgeous from a distance, but there's a problem. You got up close to it, and she ironed so many of her seam allowances towards the white, and the red bled through. So all of her seam allowances, the edges of some of the beautiful blocks she did looked pink. I couldn't give that a win. And it was just an unfortunate. So, what'd Charlotte do? Oh, Charlotte, you can tell them the truth. Your Nana is a strange. Charlotte loves telling the story of one time when she was about 7 years old. I was taking her to a movie, and I was in such a hurry because I always ran late back then. And we wanted to stop by McDonald's, grab a burger to sneak in the movie. And so I paid for it and then started to drive away without picking up the burger. Charlotte loves that story, cracks up at that story. I wonder why. Kids love it when adults make mistakes. So, oh my gosh, you finished binding it. I tell you the truth. Oh, bye, Charlotte. Is Charlotte leaving, or is she telling somebody else bye? Anyway, Charlotte's going to be going back to school soon. So I'm looking forward to doing some wild stuff with them. Charlotte, make sure you know what you want to get from the grocery store. It was so funny. I respect their mother, Becky, very much. And I said, Becky, if there's certain foods you want them to have and certain foods you don't want them to have, you could tell it's the end of a summer for a very busy mom who's thinking about going back to teaching this year. She said, I don't care what they eat. So, oh, good. You're not leaving, Charlotte. So she said, I don't care what they get. I don't care what they eat. I thought, oh, my God. Do y'all remember the commercial? And it was something like an office store commercial where the song was the most wonderful time of the year. And he's on a shopping basket with his foot sticking out back like, yay, I'm getting the kids ready and sending them off to school. Weak. But I just love that. It was like, I knew I would miss my kids when summer was over, but I was usually ready for them to go back in time at school. Oh, God. Oh, too funny. I tell you, I said, when kids are home, become lethargic. They become these lumps on the couch. They got to go back to school. So, anyway, Bonnie, how did it feel to have your new quilt now for the week? Exactly, Susan. Yes, the parents look forward to that. You know what I look forward to? I love going to the movies by myself when school is in session. So sometimes I have the whole movie theater to myself. And I miss that because in the summer, it's just too many people. But Bonnie had her quilt this week. Thank you for sending us a picture of you and the quilt. I tell you what, it was beautiful. You all did such a great job. Diana, you did such a wonderful job. So, y'all are the best. So anyway, I'm thinking I am about talked out. The aisles are empty. Yes, you can. Oh, stores, everything. It's just so much quieter. But we love our kids. And the funniest thing is then I would miss them terribly once they went back to school. But so cute. Well, I am going to go up, sit in my recliner, put my feet up. What can I snack on? I've got some red grapes. Oh, raise your hand. Sorry. That cantaloupe was so good. I realized later I was so rude just sitting here eating it in front of y'all like that. I'm so sorry. Oh, Bonnie, I'm so glad everyone loves the quilt. It is just beautiful. And I just love how everybody's signature, in a way, showed, their own style. And it was great. But this week's snack is grapes, at least while I'm on camera. When I go upstairs, I might get some cheese dip and Tostitos. But, Oh, what did What did Bonnie pick up from Joann's today? I can't wait to see. Y'all send me pictures of things you get, and I'll show them on here too, because I love seeing what y'all buy just as much. Ah, Miss Bonnie, did you write another blog? I'll have to go check it out. I love checking out Miss Bonnie's blog. And sorry I didn't bring Kiwi down. I had all those dyes and stuff, and I thought, you know what? It's not a good place for a little bird. Oh, you sweetheart. You're so sweet. Well, I hope you had a great Sunday, a great weekend. Gosh. And I said, you tried to talk me into moving there. Why? He said, oh, it's dry heat. I said, heat's meat. It's hot. No, I'm not going to trip. For y'all that didn't know, it was pitch black dark in the house. I had stayed up late editing a video. Gromit started barking at something at the front door, and Mark was asleep, and it was, work night, poor guy. I came rushing around the edge in the pitch dark, tripped over my hammock that I had asked him to bring in so we could put it up. Next thing I know, I was flat on my face, kissing the carpet. Luckily, I hurt my left arm, but it's mostly good. It's the lifting it out this way that hurts and lifting it too high. But I'm much, much better now. It turned out to be kind of a blessing in disguise because I had been getting so afraid of falling. And once I found out that I fell and nothing bad really happened, I was like, cool, I'll do this. I don't have to be so afraid anymore. I'm not going to try to fall, though, trust me. Mark was telling my kids, he said, tell the kids I can't get you to stop doing back somersaults now. No, don't go quite that far. I'll never forget, I did a cartwheel when I was in my 20s. Boy, did that feel different than when I felt my back compact. Yes. Oh. Well, y'all are the very best. If I get a chance this week, I'll try to take some pictures of some of my flowers I've got going. We haven't had rain in a couple weeks, and it's getting kind of sad. I get depressed when it doesn't rain enough. But y'all take good care. I just love y'all to bits. I will remember to post the wedding dance video for y'all. And have a great week. Now, you know what I'm going to tell you, and I mean it. You got to do it. Do something special for yourself. Whether it's like me, Mark set the hammock up in my sunroom so I can go there with the fan blowing the air conditioning on me and lay in my hammock, or time spent reading a book or working on your quilt. But have a great, great week. I'll go have fun with your guinea pigs and give them a kiss from me. And yes, I mean right on the nose. I kiss my animals right on the lips. So give them a kiss from me and have a great week. Do something kind, please, for someone. You'll never know the difference it could make to someone. Well, I just love you to bits. Take great care. Mwah. Goodbye, guys. Take good care. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm going to miss y'all. Bye-bye.